Hey, what's going on, guys? Neil here, bringing you a brand new video. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today, I wanted to bring you guys a video breaking down the 4-year cycles that Bitcoin and crypto typically goes through. And we're going to talk about how we can take advantage of these cycles and prepare for the next bull market, as we're currently in a bear market now. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a few charts here from Twitter. And then we're going to go break down some charts, in my opinion, on what could potentially happen. So Bitcoin goes through a halving every 4 years. Typically, after that halving, the cycle peak will happen the following year at the end of that year. So the next halving is scheduled for 2024. That means potentially, if we follow this cycle, that we would peak out again in late 2025. And usually we have 4 years from low to low and 4 years from the high to high. So if you're going to be thinking as buying as a long-term investor, plan to hold for at least 4 years essentially, because that's going to put you in a good position. But when traditionally has been the best time to buy? Obviously, history is not always going to repeat itself, but we can take a look at it to put ourselves in an advantageous position, see what could happen and what's worked out in the past. So there was a halving in 2020. That was a good time to start averaging into the markets, was in 2019. So there's been 4 years from low to low and 4 years from the high to high. So what would that mean? The next 4-year low could potentially occur in 2022, and the next 4-year high would occur in late 2025 after the next halving in 2024. So what that could play out is into maybe even a shorter time frame, is this is what happened. This Twitter user took a look at the 30K support and compared it to the 6K support in 2018. We hit a local bottom, bounced back up to resistance level. There was hidden bearish divergence, and then we bottomed out a little bit later. And this, was in like a month time frame. So this is something that we could be entering into right now, bottoming out into the 15, 16,000 range, or we could go even lower. I wouldn't be surprised to see $10,000 if we have a ton of liquidations, or because the macro environment is so terrible, with rates being so high and inflation being so high and supply chain messing with a lot of energy prices. No one wants to go risk on right now. No one wants to take high interest rate loans either. So we're not in a risk on environment. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin have another 85% correction. So where would that 85% correction put us? Let's say if history repeats itself, we bottom out here at the end of 2022, 85% correction would put us right around that $10,000 level from the high of 69,000. So that's a level that I'm going to be watching. And personally, I'm going to be a buyer under 20,000. That's where I'm looking to add and start to build a new position, because I know my risk to reward ratio there is good. Sure, if I buy at 20,000, we could come down another 50% fairly easy from there to complete that 85% correction. But I know that I'm ready for the volatility and I have a long-term investing plan. So as you guys can see as well, there's been a lot of diminishing returns from each cycle. Each, the percentage gain from each cycle from the bottom to the top has been less and less each cycle. So let's say that this time around, we only do, because last cycle we went from the bottom of 3,000 all the way up to 70,000, right? So that's a pretty massive gain. If we want to take a look at what that might actually look like, let's take the bottom of 3,000 here and take the top here. So that's about a 2,000% gain, but that's even less than the gain from the previous cycle, right? So what we want to do is take a look at this. Let's say that Bitcoin only does half of what it did last cycle. That last cycle being the 21 cycle. So let's say we end up, averaging in near the bottom. Let's say the bottom ends up being 15,000. And you take that 15,000, then we take it out all the way out to 2025. So let's redo this again here. Let's take it out to 2025. From early 23. So that would be basically like a 3-year completion here. Late 25, let's say Bitcoin ends up doing 1,000%. Even 500% is going to put us all the way up to 100K. So for it to do 1,000%, we'd have to zoom out a bunch here, and we could take this again and go up from there, and then we go all the way up to 1,000%. That's going to put us, closer to 200,000 essentially. So what does that mean? You're risking obviously a lot. There's a lot of risk when it comes to crypto, and I'm going to do more videos on how to take custody of your own coins, as there's been a lot of drama recently with Celsius and other exchanges and how they're handling operations, and how you're an unsecured creditor and you don't actually own your crypto when you put it on exchanges or centralized platforms. So I'm going to have a couple videos breaking down a MetaMask, which is a software wallet where you can own your own keys. And then I'll show you guys how to use decentralized exchanges and perform everything you need to do on the wallet. And I'll show you guys how to use a hardware wallet. I'll do a full unboxing and review of a hardware wallet as well, so you guys can take custody of your own assets. And here you can see that this gain is going to be massive. There's potential 10x gains even in Bitcoin alone, right? And that's not even talking about Ethereum. Ethereum and altcoins obviously are going to have greater corrections. Ethereum could come down 95%, could come down 90%, right? That's going to put us in that somewhere from 250 to $7 to $1,000 range, right? It's a big range, of course. Where I personally want to be a buyer is, 500 would be amazing, but under 1,000, I'm going to start building a position. And that's going to be massive for me, because I know that from top to bottom, or bottom to top, the bottom here and around back in late 18, that's that 4-year low, right? Let's check out where we went up to. We went up 7,000%. So that's definitely an enormous gain. And something I'd be looking at for next cycle is to see where I can average in, even with diminishing returns. If we do 3,000% return, take it from the lows of 500, we do a 3,000% return. I'm going to have to zoom out again here. Let's say we do a 3,000% return. Take that all the way up. It's not even going to fit on this chart currently. 3,000% return from bottom would put us up to closer to $20,000 Ethereum. Zoom it out a little bit, take it to the end of 25, and we're going to be looking at around $18,000 Ethereum. That would be massive. Even let's just make it a lot simpler terms. Let's say we only end up doing a 3x from the previous high. And let's say the previous high is 4,500. So we take a 3x from there. It's going to be 13,500. Let's say you end up dollar costing averaging in, and your average is only 1,000. And let's say we're going to do a 3x from the previous high, meaning we'll go to 13,500 approximately. That's still going to put you with over 1,000% return. And that's not even nailing the bottom or anything like that, right? And obviously this would take some more time, though, probably. So the moral of the story here is, obviously you can look at Solana as well. Solana, the further down the risk curve you go as far as market cap, it's going to be increased risk, but, the risk is even higher as far as the downside, but the reward is obviously even greater. So I'm going to be looking to dollar cost average mostly in Bitcoin, and I'm not going to be too rushed, as I feel like we'll have a lot of time to accumulate in this capitulation phase. And once I start to see things turning around, maybe closer to the next halving, that's when I'll start dollar cost averaging a little more heavily into these smaller cap altcoins and seeing what's hot at that time. So this is a lot of potential. I know it's difficult right now for a lot of people because they don't have assets, and if they do have assets, everything's crashing and they don't have much savings. But if you can increase your income in any way and put that in the market and think long term, crypto is an insane risk to reward. Even with the stock market being down a lot, there's a lot of money to be made there as well. Key is patience and understanding the market and having a plan. Holding forever can be nice, don't get me wrong, but having a plan can be even better. And going through a couple of these cycles now in crypto, I've learned a lot, and I'm going to continue to learn. That's a great thing about trading and investing, is you never stop learning, and you can always be better. So keep that in mind. Try to generate as much cash as you can in the bear market. Pick up a side hustle. Start doing something that you love that might earn you a little side cash on top of your 9 to 5, on top of your normal earned income. So in the future, you can have a ton of passive income. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all the support on the channel recently. I figured that there's a lot of alpha in this video, so if you guys could drop a like, a comment, a subscription, and share the video with your friends, that'd be greatly appreciated. And leave a comment down below with where you think Bitcoin's going to bottom out, what price level, and what is your strategy moving forward. And keep an eye out for future videos. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.